Hey, English learners, welcome back to Speak English Anyway, the podcast where we talk about real English for real life in a very real and sometimes very embarrassing way.
Very embarrassing. That's accurate.
I'm Linda.
And I'm Ethan. And today we're going to talk about something that I think a lot of people feel, but nobody really says out loud.
Yes, the fear of making mistakes in English.
Ah, yes, that one.
That one. The one that makes you go quiet in the middle of a sentence. Or you know the answer, but you don't say it because what if I say it wrong?
What if they laugh? What if they correct me in front of everyone?
What if my accent sounds funny?
Yes, all of those. We know those feelings very well here.
We do, and today we want to talk about them honestly. No fake positivity. No, just speak. Don't be afraid. Because that advice is not very helpful, is it?
No, if someone is already afraid, telling them don't be afraid is like telling someone in the rain, just don't be wet.
Exactly. Just don't be wet. Very helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. But seriously, today we want to help you understand why this fear happens, why mistakes are actually useful, and how you can slowly, very slowly, nobody is rushing you, start to feel a little more okay with getting things wrong.
And before we start, if this is your first time with us, welcome. Speak English Anyway is for English learners who want to hear natural English conversation, not a teacher talking at you. Just two people talking, making mistakes themselves sometimes,
Sometimes.
and learning together. So if you enjoy this episode, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with a friend who needs to hear this today.
Especially that friend who speaks perfect English in their head but goes completely silent the moment someone is listening.
Oh, we all know that person.
Sometimes it is us.
Sometimes it is us. Okay, so Ethan, let me ask you something.
Hmm?
When you were learning English, in the beginning, were you afraid of making mistakes?
Yes, very much. I remember one time I was maybe 15 and I was in a shop, a small shop, and I wanted to ask where the bathroom was.
Okay, simple question.
Simple question, 4 words. Where is the bathroom? I knew those words. I had practiced those words. But the moment I saw the person at the counter, nothing. My mouth stopped working.
Oh no.
I stood there. Then I just pointed at a random door.
You pointed?
I pointed at a random door, and the man said, "That's a storage room, mate."
No.
Yes, that was my English in action. Very confident, very wrong.
Oh, Ethan. Okay, so what did you do?
I said sorry and walked out of the shop. I didn't even use the bathroom. I just left.
You left?
I left. I was that embarrassed.
Okay, I love that story because it's so real. And I think so many people listening right now have a version of that story.
They do. Different shop, different door, same feeling.
Same feeling, exactly. And the interesting thing is, that moment didn't mean your English was bad. It meant you were nervous.
Right, those are two very different things.
Two very different things. And I think that's the first big idea for today. Being nervous is not the same as being bad at English.
Yes, write that down, everyone, or save it, or just repeat it to yourself.
Being nervous is not the same as being bad at English. Nervousness is about the situation. Your English is about your knowledge, and they don't always arrive at the same time.
They don't. Sometimes your English is at home resting while you are standing in the shop pointing at doors.
Your English is at home resting. That's a good one. But it's true. Under pressure, even the things you know well can feel far away, like they're locked in a room and you forgot the key.
Yes, and the key is usually relaxation, but that's hard to find when you need it most.
Very hard. Okay, so let's talk about mistakes themselves, because I think there's a difference between two types of mistakes, and not many people talk about this.
Ooh, tell me more.
Okay, so type 1, mistakes that come from not knowing something yet.
Like using the wrong verb tense.
Yes, or mixing up he and she, or using a word that doesn't quite fit. These are normal learning mistakes. Every learner makes them. Even advanced learners make them.
Right, these are the mistakes that show you are still growing.
Exactly, growing mistakes. And then there's type 2, mistakes that come from trying, from being brave enough to say something even when you're not sure.
Those feel different.
They feel completely different because a growing mistake happens when you try, and trying is the whole point.
Yes, I like that. A growing mistake, because a mistake that comes from trying is actually progress. It's not failure. It's evidence that you did the thing.
Exactly, you showed up, you opened your mouth, you took the risk, and something came out, maybe not perfect, but it came out.
And that is more than a lot of people do.
A lot of people, because the other option is staying quiet, and staying quiet feels safe, but
But staying quiet doesn't teach you anything.
right, silence is comfortable, but silence doesn't build English. Speaking builds English, even imperfect speaking.
Especially imperfect speaking.
Especially. Okay, so I want to share a little metaphor here. Can I?
Please, you know I love your metaphors.
Okay, think about a baby learning to walk.
Okay, little baby, big dreams.
Big dreams. So the baby stands up, falls down, stands up, falls again, maybe bumps their head a little.
Ouch.
Ouch, yes. But the baby does not stop and think, I am terrible at walking. I should just stay on the floor forever. I'm embarrassed.
The baby doesn't do that.
The baby gets up again because the baby doesn't have the idea that falling is shameful. Falling is just part of learning to walk.
That hits.
It does, and we were all that baby once. We all learned to walk by falling, and nobody is embarrassed about that now.
Because we don't remember it, but also because we understand it's normal.
Yes, and speaking a new language is the same. You will fall many times in many different ways. Some embarrassing ways, some funny ways, some ways you will tell as a story years later.
Like the storage room story?
Like the storage room story. And those stories become part of your journey. They become proof that you lived your English, that you actually used it in the real world.
Proof. I love that word. Not a mistake. Proof.
Proof that you tried.
Okay, so let's talk about something practical, because I think some people are listening and they understand this idea. Mistakes are okay, falling is normal, but in the moment, in that real moment, it still feels terrible.
Yes, understanding something and feeling it are two different things.
Very different. So what can people actually do when the fear arrives, when the silence comes, when they open their mouth and the wrong word comes out, and someone looks at them with that face?
That face. We all know that face.
That slightly confused, slightly waiting face? What do you do?
Okay, I have 3 small things. Not big techniques, not complicated methods, just 3 small things that helped me.
Let's hear them.
Thing 1. Finish the sentence.
Finish the sentence, even if it's wrong?
Even if it's wrong, because here's what happens when we stop in the middle. We get more nervous, the silence gets bigger, the mistake feels bigger. But if you just keep going, finish the sentence even imperfectly, the moment passes, the conversation moves.
Yes, like crossing a small river. Don't stop in the middle. Keep walking.
Exactly! Don't stop in the middle of the river. Keep walking. You might get your feet a little wet. That's okay.
Wet feet are fine. It's standing in the middle of the river forever that's the problem.
Yes. So finish the sentence, even if the grammar is wrong, even if the word is not exactly right, finish it. And then breathe. Okay. Thing 2, let yourself be a beginner.
Say more.
So many people, especially intelligent people, people who are very good at their jobs, very good in their own language, they come to English and they feel embarrassed to be a beginner because in everything else in their life, they are not a beginner. They are good at things.
Right. And being a beginner feels like going backwards.
It feels uncomfortable. It feels like this doesn't match who I am. But the truth is, everyone who is good at English today was a beginner once.
Every single one.
Every single one. The person who sounds confident and fluent right now, They had a storage room moment. They had a wrong word moment. They had a my face turned completely red moment.
The red face moment. I've had many.
Many, we all have. And giving yourself permission to be a beginner, not forever, just for now, just for this stage, that takes so much pressure off.
It does. It's like putting down a heavy bag.
Yes, you've been carrying this bag that says, I should already be perfect, and you just put it down. And suddenly your hands are free.
Your hands are free. I like that. And thing 3?
Thing 3, and this one is my favorite, find your safe people.
Safe people.
Yes, this is so important because not every situation is the right situation to practice being brave. Sometimes you need a safe place first.
Okay, what's a safe place?
A safe place is where you speak English and nobody judges you. Nobody corrects you harshly. Nobody makes you feel small. Maybe it's a friend who is also learning. Maybe it's a podcast like this one, where you just listen and repeat and nobody's watching.
Maybe it's talking to yourself in the mirror.
Yes, talking to yourself in the mirror is actually very good.
I do.
You do?
I do. I have full conversations with myself. In English, in the mirror. I play both people.
You play both people.
I do. I say something and then I answer myself. It sounds a little strange, but
No, it doesn't. It's very smart because the mirror doesn't judge you. The mirror just shows you your face.
exactly. And your face in the mirror is very understanding.
Very understanding. But that's the point. You need a place to practice without the pressure before you go into the hard situations. A safe place builds confidence slowly. And then, when you go into the more difficult moments, you have a little more ground under your feet.
You have ground under your feet, so you don't fall as easily.
Or, if you fall, you get up faster.
Yes. Okay, I want to add something here, if that's okay.
Please.
So we talked about finishing the sentence, letting yourself be a beginner, finding safe people, and those are all great. But I want to talk about one specific fear that I think is the biggest one for a lot of people.
Which one?
Being corrected.
Oh, yes. That one.
Because some people are not afraid of making mistakes exactly, they're afraid of what happens after, of someone pointing at the mistake, saying out loud in front of others, actually, that's wrong.
Yeah, that moment.
And I want to say two things about that. First, being corrected is not an attack. It can feel like one, especially in the moment, but it's not.
Right. Most of the time, the person correcting you is trying to help.
They're trying to help. They want the conversation to go better. They want you to have the right information. It doesn't feel good, but it is useful.
It is useful. And second?
Second, and this one takes a little more time to believe, a correction means someone was listening.
Oh, say that again.
A correction means someone was listening. Someone cared enough about what you said to pay attention, to respond. If they didn't care, they would just let it go, move on. But they listened and they engaged.
Ethan, that's actually beautiful.
Thank you. I thought about it for a while.
It really changes the feeling, doesn't it? Instead of, oh no, they corrected me, I'm embarrassed, it's, they were really listening to me.
They were in the conversation with you, and that is the point of language, connection. Even a correction is a form of connection.
Even a correction is a form of connection. Write that one down too.
Please do.
Okay, so I think we should do our word tour now, because today we use some really good words and expressions that our listeners can take with them.
Yes, let's do it slowly and clearly. Take your time with these.
Okay, first word, embarrassed.
Embarrassed. This means you feel uncomfortable or shy because of something you did or said. It's that red face feeling.
For example, I was embarrassed when I used the wrong word in the meeting. Or, he felt embarrassed, but he kept speaking anyway.
So embarrassed is the feeling, not the end of the world, just a feeling.
Just a feeling. Repeat it. Embarrassed.
Embarrassed. Next, brave.
Brave means you do something even when it's difficult or scary. Brave doesn't mean you're not afraid. It means you act even when you are.
For example, it was brave of her to speak English at the party, even with her small vocabulary. Or, you don't need to be perfect to be brave, you just need to try.
Brave. Let's repeat. Brave.
Brave. Okay, next one is a phrase, get it wrong.
Get it wrong, it means to make a mistake. It's very natural, very casual.
For example, I got it wrong the first time, but I tried again. Or, it's okay to get it wrong. That's how you learn.
And the opposite is get it right. I got it right. That's the happy moment after the wrong ones.
The happy moment. Let's repeat, get it wrong.
Get it wrong. Next word, pressure.
Pressure means a feeling that you have to do something well right now with people watching. Pressure makes simple things feel much harder.
For example, I know the words, but under pressure, I forget everything. Or when there's no pressure, my English feels easy.
Pressure. Repeat, pressure.
Pressure. Next, permission.
Permission means you allow something. Usually someone gives you permission, but here we're talking about giving yourself permission.
Yes, giving yourself permission means you allow yourself to do something that maybe felt wrong before. Like, give yourself permission to be a beginner. Or, she gave herself permission to make mistakes and suddenly felt much better.
It's a powerful idea. You don't need someone else to say it's okay. You can say it to yourself. Repeat, permission.
Permission. And our last word for today, proof.
Proof means evidence, something that shows you that something is true.
And today, we used it in a special way. Every mistake you make is proof that you tried. Proof that you were brave enough to speak.
For example, that wrong sentence was proof that she was actually using her English. Or, don't be ashamed of your mistakes. They are proof of your journey.
Proof. Beautiful word. Repeat. Proof.
Proof.
Okay, before we finish, let's give our listeners something small to do this week, because we always like to end with action.
Yes, small actions, not big, scary ones.
Not big, scary ones. Okay, action 1. This week, say one sentence in English out loud, to yourself, to a friend, to your mirror, and finish it. Even if it's wrong, even if it sounds strange, just finish it.
One sentence. Finished. That's the goal.
Action 2. Think of one mistake you made in English, any mistake, from any time, and instead of feeling embarrassed about it, say to yourself, that was proof I tried.
That was proof I tried. Say it like you mean it.
And action 3, find your safe person or your safe place, a mirror, a podcast, a friend who is also learning. Practice there first. Build your ground.
Build your ground, and then step out a little further each time.
Each time. And you know what? We're proud of everyone listening to this right now because choosing to learn is already brave. You are already doing the hard thing.
You really are. You showed up. That counts.
It counts so much. Okay, let's do our quick recap before we say goodbye.
Quick recap. First big idea. Being nervous is not the same as being bad at English. Those are different things.
Second, there are two kinds of mistakes. Growing mistakes from not knowing yet, and brave mistakes from trying anyway. Both are useful.
Third, 3 small things to help in the moment. Finish the sentence, let yourself be a beginner, find your safe people.
Fourth, being corrected is not an attack. It means someone was listening.
And fifth and most important, every mistake is proof. Proof that you tried. Proof that you are building something real.
Something real. Okay, that is everything from us today.
If this episode helped you, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with someone who needs to hear it.
Tell us in the comments, what is one mistake you made in English that you still think about? And what is one thing you will do differently after today?
We read every single comment. Everyone.
Everyone.
Take care of your English.
And take care of your heart.
This was Speak English Anyway. I'm Ethan.
And I'm Linda. Bye, everyone.
Bye, and remember, getting it wrong is not the end. It's actually just the beginning.